Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to another episode on J of All Trades. Today I want to show you guys how I built my shower niche from start to finish. This shower niche is made out of thick plastic, as you can see, and I got this off of Amazon for about 65 bucks. So I'm going to include a link in the description in case you guys want to go out there and pick this up. The first thing you want to do is you want to set it in the area that you want to install it and use a level to make sure that it's straight. Then you're going to make a mark in the section of studs that you need to remove. The weapon of choice that I'll be using today is a bandsaw, and this is made by Milwaukee. I'll include it in the link. I'm also going to be doing 4 cuts here just to demonstrate how to remove the extra wood that's going to be left back at the back of the stud, because this bandsaw does not go all the way through the wood. And so the first set of cuts here that I'm doing is to remove the big section of wood, and then you're going to use a hammer to hit it. Just start out by tapping lightly at first, and this will give you an idea of how hard you really need to hit this to break this piece of wood off. Now here is the wood that's left in the back of the stud that I was talking about. You can use your hammer to basically pry these pieces off. Now I'm going to demonstrate another set of cuts just to demonstrate how to remove the remaining piece of wood on the stud. Once again, I'm using the bandsaw to go as far as possible, and then I'm going to remove whatever piece of wood is there. As you can see, I still have pieces of wood left at the back of the stud, but this time around we're going to be using an oscillating tool. This particular one is made by Milwaukee, and I'll include a link in the description. As you can see, this tool can be very versatile, and it does really well with plunge cuts. Now that I've removed this section of wood here, I'm ready to frame out the supports for the niche. Here I'm taking a measurement of the width and the height of this niche, and I'm going to be cutting pieces of supports. Here I'm putting the top and bottom supports in position, and then I'll be securing them directly to the studs. Once I have the middle secured, I'll be able to put a level on this and then screw the sides. Screwing in the middle first allows you to tip the wood left or right to make sure that it's level before securing the sides. With the spacing that I currently have, I only have to install one support on the right side. So here I'm going to be using an angle driver, and I'll include a link in the description, and this thing is great for getting into tight spots. You just simply hook it up to your gun, and then you're going to be able to screw any screw in that angle. For this particular application, I just needed it to start the screws, and once the screws were in a certain amount, I was able to take it off and just drive the screws directly with my driver. This allows me to have more control over the amount of force that I'm using. Now we're going to size up the niche with this frame, and we're going to put it right in here and make sure that it fits nicely. You want to make sure that the niche sits nice and flush up against the entire frame all the way around. Now the niche is sitting perfectly in there, and we're ready to move on to the next part, which is installing a light. This is the power source that I'll be using, and I'll include a link in the description for this kit that I bought for the niche. This is basically a transformer. There's 12 volts going to the LED light for the niche, and there's 120 volts coming from your line. I'm going to be installing this waterproof transformer right here inside of the wall, and I'll be securing it to this framing. Here is the 120 volt line that I'll be hooking up to the primary side, and the secondary side will have 12 volts hooked up to the LED at the niche. Here I'm just using a couple screws to secure this straight into the framing. Now I'm going to prep everything for the wiring and make sure that all the wires are wired up. For now, I'm going to temporarily install this without using a box on the line side. I can easily cut a hole on the other side of the wall later on and then wire up everything inside of a box. I just want to demonstrate exactly how you would wire this up, and you want to make sure that on the line side it goes on the primary side of this transformer, which is the 120 volt side. After stripping these wires out, I noticed that these colors are not black, white, and green. One of them is clearly the ground because it has green and yellow on it, but there's two other wires that have blue and brown. There is a tiny diagram on the transformer that shows that blue is your return and brown is your line. So the brown will hook up to the black wire and your blue wire will hook up to your white wire, which is your return. And then the green and yellow wire is your ground. If you're not sure about the wiring, make sure you look at the transformer carefully because it will show you exactly how it needs to be wired. Here I'm just going to be using some electrical tape. This is just going to give me a little bit of insurance just in case one of these wires slip out of the wire nut. Now that we've gotten the primary side of the transformer wired up, we're just going to move this out of the way and we're going to start working on the secondary side, which is your 12 volt side. First thing I'm going to do is drill a hole through the framing and the niche. This is going to allow me to connect the LED through that hole to the power source. Now I can pass my wire through the hole and into this niche so it can power the LED light. So here you can see exactly how everything's all wired up. And here you can see the primary side is hooked up to this line coming in into the primary side of the transformer, and it goes through into a 12 volt circuit on the LED side. Now we're going to wire up the LED and we're going to test it out. This is a 16-foot LED light strip, but we're not going to be using the full length. I'm going to be including a link in the description so you guys can go out there and pick this up if you'd like. Here you can see two wires on this LED strip. Black is for negative and red is for positive. The way I'm going to be wiring this is by following a diagram on the transformer as brown going to the positive red wire and blue going to the negative black wire. Keep in mind that I am following the wiring that is specified on the transformer. That is very important to follow. Once I got everything wired up, I turned on the power and then I flipped the switch and our entire LED strip lights up as it should. It's important to test these lights before you permanently install them. Now here I'm going to be using a diffuser, and this diffuser is basically a plastic cover here that slides onto this metal strip, and the LED strip will be sitting inside of this encasement. It will help the LED lights to look more soft and smooth. Now it's time to cut the length of our LED, and we're going to be cutting in between these two copper lines here. And as you can see, if you look closely, you're going to see two lines there. You're going to be cutting in the middle of them. Cutting LEDs like this is the correct way to cut it because it will allow you to join them if you need to in the future. Now I'm going to be removing the film on the tape that's in the back of the LED strip, and I will be taping it into this channel here. Now that this is all ready to go, I'm going to slide this plastic cover straight into this channel and it'll be all set to go. Once I have this niche all tiled, I'll be able to secure this at the top of this niche here. And for those of you who are wondering what temperature this is 5K. In my particular tub setup, I had to put some spacers on my studs, and this had to go behind the niche. So I had to bring the niche out just a little bit in order to put those spacers. Installing these spacers does not really change the setup of the niche. The niche will still have to sit flush up against the frame. This also shows you how easy it is to adjust this type of niche in place. It gives you a lot of flexibility. You can even turn this niche vertical. It all depends on your preference. Once all the spacers were in around the studs, I began driving screws into these holes here. This will secure the niche to the framing and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Once I finished securing this niche in place, I installed cement board all throughout the shower. And once I finished doing that, I was ready to put some tin set to waterproof. When you're applying the tin set, you want to work the tin set into all these creases and crevices. You want to make sure that this is fully sealed up to avoid any water getting in between. You really want to work this into all those screw holes that we made earlier, because those will be possibilities where water can make its way in and leak behind this wall. If you'd like to see how I installed all this cement board in the shower, you can check out my video on that on my channel. Once again, you really want to spend some time on this and do it right, because there's no way to come back and redo this once the tiling is on. You're going to notice that I'm smoothing this out back and forth and getting it as smooth as possible. This is going to help to blend the niche and the cement board in as one. I also applied this mesh tape over the creases and openings. This will strengthen the bond of the tin set to these creases. It's a very similar concept to using joint compound and the tape, which helps to join two pieces of sheetrock together. But in this case, I'm using it to create a stronger joint. Once the tin set was dry, I applied RedGard waterproofing and crack prevention membrane, which is another layer of waterproofing. And this, you could just roll it on or use a paintbrush to apply. I'll include this in a link so you can go out there and get it. Here I started out by using a brush all the way around the border of the niche, and I'm just working it into the tin set and just making sure that it gets into all the pores that are on here. You'll be able to tell when this RedGard dries because it's first pink when you apply it and then it turns red once it's fully dry. I decided to apply 2 coats of RedGard just to give me added protection, and then I was ready to install my tile. I first started by laying tile on the outside of the niche. I used some tape to secure this strip of tile just to prevent it from shifting or moving away. In this next step, I'm measuring to cut some tile border trim, and to do that I'm using this piece of 2x4 as a guide. And the reason why is if you try to cut it without this, the trim will get damaged. This 2x4 is in a 45-degree angle, and we'll be cutting 45 degrees on each of these trims. As you can see, using that wood guide prevents the saw from picking up that piece of strip and damaging it. In this next step, I'm installing tile on the center of the niche. After installing these tiles in the center, I will then work my way out into the corners. Now I'm ready to install the corner tiles as well as the trim. You want the trim to sit flush behind the tile and just sandwich it together into the tin set. Another way you can do this is by putting the trim in place first into the tin set and then placing the tile right behind it. Here I'm just using some tape to tape the trim in place to prevent it from shifting. When the tint set is wet, it's so easy for the trim to just shift out of place. Once the trim is taped, I'm ready to drop the tiles in place and secure them. Here is a look at how the niche turned out after we finished tiling. Now we're ready to grout. When you're grouting, you want to make sure that you force the grout into those creases as well. This will give it a nice, smooth finish. The LED light channel was secured by putting some silicone behind the channel strip. Then I taped it and left it overnight to let it dry. Once the grout was dry, I used a damp sponge and squeezed out most of the water and then wiped it in a circular motion. This wiped out all the haze on the tile and it gave it a nice even finish. Overall, I really like the way that this niche turned out, and I want to thank you guys for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel to continue to get more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys on the next one.